Throughout history, men and women had different roles. Men were seen as the hunters, women the gatherers. In other times, men were seen as providers and protectors, whereas women were seen as nurturers and caretakers. Many people today acknowledge that these are the things that make up each gender on a basic and fundamental level. But where did these roles come from? Are they based in biology, culture, or both? I'm going to try to answer this question in this video to the best of my ability. But I want to make something clear. This is a complex topic that cannot just be solved with a one-word answer. It's important to try to tackle the subject as objectively as possible, but to also realize that everyone has their own ideological angle from which they approach this and other topics. Therefore, there is little sense in claiming to know all the facts about it. Let's start with the biological aspect. According to some, gender roles are predetermined by biology. The things men and women each enjoy to do as a gender are already set from the time they were born, and no social engineering is going to reverse that because it is ultimately futile to do so. One clear indication of that is the difference in overall body size between men and women. For example, the average man weighs about 199.8 pounds, while the average woman weighs about 170.8 pounds. When it comes to height, the average man is 5 feet 6 inches tall, while the average woman is 5 feet 2 inches tall. Just based on these facts, automatically men and women experienced a division of labor in ancient and prehistorical societies. Men were the hunters and women were the gatherers. Men were expected to go out and hunt mammals in order to provide food for themselves and their families. This process could take days and even weeks. So it was important for them to learn how to survive violent and brutal jungles and forests. Women, on the other hand, were expected to gather fruits and nuts and to take care of the children. This division occurred because biologically men were stronger and faster, and so it was more fitting for them to take on a hunter role, while women are generally weaker, so they would focus on maintaining the household. But biological differences don't explain everything. A lot of societal and cultural influences have shaped what we consider to be masculine and feminine behavior. For example, despite living in a more progressive and liberal society, most women still expect men to pay for dates, even though women make about the same amount of money as men do. In fact, when it comes to graduation rates at university, women outperform men with 54% for them and 43% for men. Even though feminist ideology has been deeply implanted in every fiber of our societal being, women by and large still maintain that men should uphold their prescribed traditional gender roles, but women are oftentimes not expected to do so. In this regard, women are expected to be kind and nurturing and are generally seen to be good with children. But many women today, especially younger women, see children as a burden and parasites. This is evidenced by the fact that 64% of women don't want a child, compared to 50% of men who say the same thing. So even though women have historically been the ones to desire to have and raise children, modern women increasingly have little or no desire to do so. I believe this is in large part due to feminist ideology, which a lot of women and men have been indoctrinated into believing. As we can see from what I've said so far, there are certain things that are biological in influence and others which are sociocultural in influence. Therefore, it's safe to say, at least in my opinion, that the most logical explanation is that there are a sort of 50-50 mixture of nature and nurture when it comes to gender roles. In other words, neither of these predominates completely because human behavior is just so complex and is influenced by so many factors and variables in life. I assume most people are also in agreement with this conclusion because it makes the most sense. However, there are people out there with more radical interpretations of reality who believe that human behavior, and more specifically, gender roles, originate in biology, and others who think they are social and cultural constructions. Thankfully, these people tend to be in the minority and are oftentimes radicals who have certain inflexible ideologies that make them less inclined to see the nuance in this topic. One should always be careful when it comes to discussing complex human behaviors, because any premature judgment is going to lend itself to more biases and extremism when it comes to other topics, not just ones discussing gender roles among humans. Always do your research and make an educated guess instead of giving into the instinct to be tribalistic and rigid. It's usually the best way to go. So that's it for this video. If you like this content, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share to get notified about more videos like this one. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.